this has been a real trip doing this thing. This is what you're here for, and we're real happy you're here, is that this is the completion of 3 months of intense work. A previous conference that was hijacked and burned to the ground by people, very nefarious people with nefarious intentions, and this was pretty a dead president at that point. And we had a small team of people that said, you know, hell with that, let's get a victory and relaunch this thing. And we thank you all for believing in it. And happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and for being here too. And, you know, we're glad to have you. I'm going to try to MC this event all day until this runs out. Maybe Dave, you'll be back at times. And let's get the road on the show, as they say. On the fences of Greenham Common. And the motto was, better on their fence than ours, because there was nothing there. That's the truth. We all knew it. That's why PRP is in place. That's why security. I was a combatant. I wasn't a police officer. I was a security specialist. I had the acronym SS, which is kind of Peter's Jewish. It can be dark. But at the end of the day, 32 years, I found the joy in my life. Everything that happened led to even my son, who's 11, all of it. And it was a goddamn train wreck for a long time. A lot of damage to all of us. A lot of shockwave damage to our families. A lot of negatives. I have found in my last quarter of my life, I guess you don't live much past, but anyway, that I've chilled out and mellowed out a lot. But you had to be, I guess, my mindset. They just pissed off the wrong New Yorker, and that's what it meant. And there's a lot of controversies. It's not controversial to me, though I do keep learning about the event. I don't know everything, but I know a lot. And a lot more than I did as a 19-year-old young guy. And we did believe in our government. That's why we're serving. I went in only 4 years after Saigon fell. You have to remember the era. These events happened 2 weeks after John Lennon was shot in New York. This puts it in context. There are many people in this room that weren't born yet. So it's even hard to imagine the era. I never envisioned this. I never envisioned that I'd be able to co-author a book, the only first-hand account on the events, to this day, that is still in print 15 years after the fact and updated in 2005, and we're very proud of it because the book stands, though much has come out since then, and that's what this book was designed to do, be a catalyst. And it worked. Lots come down. So this is yours. You own this. This happened here. I will mention the town campsite where many of you are staying would not allow Gordy to put posters up on this event, and I would respectfully remind them that a number of their campers, I'm sure, are simply there to look at that forest for those simple reasons. So it's almost like kicking the cash cow in the ass, isn't it, a little bit? Sooner or later they'll catch on to it and have a museum here and all that stuff like Roswell, but they're going to go slow. They've got the singing festival in the Maltings, and that's all cool, all that. But this is also part of your history, and I know some farmers don't like it or whatever, especially a woman that owns that field who attacked me with her horse years ago and made a fool of her daughter. Was you remember that? And there's some characters. You know, my view used to be, if you don't see it as I saw it and as I lived it and bled it, I will drag you through it. Nowadays, I say, it's your business. I'm good. I'm good. I'm still here. I shouldn't have been here. I have a pretty wild lifestyle outside of this. That's another book. Or I used to. I'm just happy to be alive, be a dad. It's a pleasure. It's the joy of knowing the people. Now, there's some strange fellow that's speaking here today. Let me, I can't, there we go. Oh dear, Peter Robbins is one of America's best known and most respected UFO investigative writers. That's true. He hasn't been involved in the field more than 30 years. He's shaving off a few on that one. As a researcher, investigator, writer, speaker, activist, author, brevity is not in his tag at all. Now this is a shorter one. He has lectured extensively on both sides of the Atlantic, appeared as a guest and been a consultant in numerous TV and documentaries. He is also the co-author of, along with some guy, Larry Warren, on the book Left at Eastgate. His talk will update the controversies, a lot of hot spot on my neck area, this region, and it would hemorrhage through the skin. If I had a,
sit down talking to the mic.
If I had a one,
next page, John. If I had a white shirt on, it would just be red like Kennedy, you know, in Dallas. It was that bad. And it would heat up and weirdness. So my wife being in medicine, she said, well, obviously you bleed out like that, you're gonna get it checked out. So I went down to the New Britain General Hospital and I ended up, long story short, up in the nuclear medicine end of the hospital. And I had numerous doctors over 2 days running blood work, all kinds. And in the end of the day, they weren't committed, but the senior surgeon in nuclear medicine came to me and he said, "Were you in the military?" And I said, "I was." And he goes, "Were you in Vietnam?" And I said, I'm too young." And he said, "Were you ever exposed to nuclear, equipment or anything? Did you work near nuclear weapons?" I said, "Well, I worked on a base that had nuclear weapons. I never was intimate with them." And he said, "You were showing signs that we would see in 20 years of exposure to an unshielded nuclear device." And he goes, "We've got," and I, you know, really, this is kind of like, whoa. And I was a young guy, I was 24 when that happened. And I kind of froze. I mean, I was like, whoa, this could be really, I'm going to grow a third eye or something. And he said, what was it that you would have been near? And I said, "I don't know how to go into that with you." And I did, because my wife worked there, and back in the 80s, let me tell you, England was worse than America with open minds on this subject, but it was still bad. It's all right to talk about lights and do measurements, but you don't talk about anything that flies them or anything like it is now. No, they did tar and feather you. So we were quite concerned.